10 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Dire team pick.
So that was an unforgettable moment there from Miracle, and I believe that in the voice of ODPixel.
Nothing to say. Only guttural noises could describe what we
course. I mean, that was hype. But I'm sure we will have just as much of a hype moment in this season of DreamLeague.
Yeah, maybe even in this series right now, because we got Empire versus Vega Squadron. We can also take a look back, well, after... Yeah, we can take a look back in the War Room, because I'm curious how they're doing right there.
Sure.
The War Room.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
We've got a Warlock picked up again.
We've got a Crystal Maiden picked up for the first time today.
Warlock safe lane. CM more than likely starting safe lane / jungle.
Kind of in the jungle, yeah. We'll pull it back a little bit. We're going to see CM rotate between the two.
Strategist. I don't know how you say that in the War Room. Strategizers in the War Room. For people that have not been watching, what are you doing?
Well, isn't it obvious? We're making a cake, Shiva. I mean, no, we're planning out the strategy of the game. We've already got some heroes laid down as the draft comes up. We're going to be putting them into the lane, so you people at home that may be watching and you go, where does my Legion Commander go? Oh, I think it goes in the jungle.
No, he does not.
No, it does not.
He does not.
Okay? You, John, stop doing it. He's on the off lane. He's laning. He's manning up. If he goes into the jungle, we're actually going to rule Vega Squadron out of the tournament. So... There's no jungle in here. It's a laning Legion.
Axe picked up.
Axe picked up. That's up here on the A shelf, beautifully, right between the Arc Warden and the Abaddon. We did not alphabetize in between the letters because we didn't frankly have time. So Axe as well. Where does he go?
Off lane.
Don't say the J word. Don't say the J word.
I pointed further away. You see all the way.
We got it.
Axe, good hero that can pressure the lane as well. So CM is a hero that he's not really the greatest in the laning phase at the start. He takes maybe a little bit to get like level 2, level 3, and then he can start pressuring. So Axe able to at least guarantee something there. And now they have a kind of duo combo. If Warlock and Axe go down there together, which we do see Empire
That's what we're doing.
More than likely, we can switch it up. So Empire can do that with the Warlock and the Axe and put pressure onto the Vega safe lane.
No, I like that. Put the Warlock down there, I think.
Yep.
Definitely a likelihood. Now, we saw, we know these kind of sides like to do it. Na'Vi did it earlier. There's absolutely no reason why Vega wouldn't do it. Sorry, Empire themselves wouldn't do it against Vega's lineup. Yep. That's what we've got so far. Still waiting for more picks. How about you guys on the panel? Anything that you're looking to see come out from maybe Vega Squadron again or something from Empire? First time we're seeing them today.
I like where you guys put him on that panel. I mean, on that lane. I mean, you said that CM Fogged has a kind of a hard time early game. I thought she was a big burst damage, but I guess Warlock's going to keep that sustain up for the Axe, huh? And make sure that he's doing okay. So interesting stuff. Oh yeah, look at him. 2 Oglogi, 2 bros coming out together fighting. Hell yeah. What do you make of the openings, Jack? That's real good.
Oh, well, there's the...
Wow. Thank you, Owen.
Look at that.
Whoa. Whoa.
Axe spinning. Nice counter helix.
Look at that counter.
Nice. All right, thank you. All right, thank you.
He looks,
Do you want to see my Kiari offer him?
No.
That axe looks
Keep
like
the
Darth
camera
Vader
right here.
a little bit.
A little bit.
I was to go with the breathing earlier. So Vega did get Legion Commander, which has been a favorite for Afterlife in recent weeks. So a comfort hero for them. Empire with the axe, we mentioned a probable lane for him, but he also offers a lot of flexibility. They probably won't put him in the J word, but it's entirely possible for him to be left solo, say bottom against Legion Commander as well. So,
I'm surprised that both teams open with a support and an offlaner. It seems like, they're having the same plan, keeping everything, the rest of hidden.
That's why you pick Legion. Because you can run her in the jungle.
But you wouldn't.
Well, no. You wouldn't.
No.
But look at those leafy greens. She's right next to him. She feels it. Hugging on her soul. Yeah. Oh, there she goes. She's making her move right now. No! Stay back. Stay back. Right. Anyway, so things to counter a Warlock and an Axe. Again, Axe can sometimes have some problems early game, especially because Warlock's heal takes a little bit to get going. So a big amount of burst damage could do something there. They could just plan for the ultra late game. But any particular hard counters for Axe you could think of, Mr. Jack?
Well, there's the Earth Spirit. Before we talk about that, I think this might be an interesting series in terms of the playstyle of both teams. We've seen Vega have been willing to slow it down a little bit and play maybe more for the late game, but for Empire, it's usually quite the opposite. They very much resemble some other regional teams in like Virtus Pro, for instance, just a lot of aggression immediately. And then we talked about earlier in the day, are we going to see some of the heroes that Empire has been favoring? Are we going to see Amiibo potentially? Are we going to see a PA? So I'm not sure where Empire is going in that direction. But I think Vega have shown through the Na'Vi series that they can deal with that early aggression. They don't have the tree this time, but they can play a patient game and kind of take it later on. So
And Empire with Dust Pickup, that doesn't shout patience at all.
Nope, that shouts in your face right there from Empire, and that's what we've seen before. But as you said, Jack, isn't that what lost some DAC? I mean, way too much aggression, too much gusto in that Frusto.
The aggression, well, if you can't execute like VP can, the aggression has to be tempered. You have to be able to pick your spots as well. We've shown that VP has been able to do that as well. We keep talking about VP here and then out of this tournament, but the ability to pick your spots.
I mean, we have a lot of CIS teams, so it makes sense to talk about VP, which is the biggest team in CIS region. So that's okay.
Yeah, they showed sometimes, I think, in Kiev that they were able to temper that aggression, say some Aegises were for aggression, some Aegises were for sitting back and farming a little bit, getting crucial items. Some situations were good for pushing. We did see a few times they went high ground and weren't in a good position to do that. And so I'm not sure if Empire has kind of learned that lesson maybe from what happened at DAC against both IG teams, maybe back off a little bit when they need to and consolidate any advantages they have.
War Room, where's that Tusk going?
Well, at the moment we have put him for towards the safe lane.
Chilling towards safe lane.
But I think it's the same as the Earth Spirit. We put them both in the safe lane, but there's going to be a lot more to that in the other game, isn't there?
They're probably going to mirror match.
Yeah.
I really like the Tusk pick too. We saw it in Kiev, the save for versus the Legion Commander. You can always like grab your teammate in the duel, try to bring out them, and they also can now have him kind of like start the fight with the axe. And early on, they can like snowball in to cause that.
Top shelf Vengeful Spirit for this one, and that's going to be your position one.
That one,
for Vega.
yeah, that one would be the position one.
Oh boy.
Now, why does Vengeful Spirit core still work? Because I believe she lost most of her matches as a core in Kiev.
Some teams used it very well in previous tournaments as well. As a core who can find her own tempo out of that one position and also have save for if you see the big core coming out of mid, or being able to kind of start your own fights, control your own pace has been pretty valuable to some teams. I think Na'Vi definitely favored that before, and Vega as well. So it could also be partly a regional thing.
And now with the Razor pickup, I haven't seen a Razor in a very long
What
time.
the hell is that hero? Oh man. Team Empire, they either really know this patch or they have not played this patch at all. Fogged, you're familiar with Razor. Oh wait, that was Owen the other day in our pub.
That was Owen.
We did win that game.
Let's not talk about that game.
Advise the Midas Axe Refresher Octarine. The damage that the ultimate does is very underwhelming late game. You think this is going to be a safe
I'm not sure. I think that this is a pretty cool thing that they're going for here, like versus the Legion Commander. I think Legion is a super strong laner, but if you're just getting linked up, I mean, Razor's still one of the very dominant safe laner or very dominant laners because you can just steal somebody's damage, and versus a melee hero, you can kind of do that. But Legion is very durable and high burst, so I don't know.
But would you actually put him on the safe lane? The Razor?
I don't really. I mean, I wouldn't really put him anywhere. To be honest, I'm not really a big fan of Razor right now. I think he's kind of weak at the moment. I think his talents got a little bit buffed with his movement speed and stuff, but he still feels like he's lacking a little bit of something. But they do have at least now a little bit of mixed magic damage as well for team fight, and I don't know. Empire does like these kind of like different heroes. They used to like to pick their PAs a lot, and now I guess they're liking the Razor. I took a glance at their previous games recently, and I didn't really see them touching the Razor too much. So I'm thinking they have some kind of strategy planned versus what Vega has already. So
and we'll see with this final pick. Remember whether it is going to be a mid or a core Razor.
Yeah.
I'm kind of liking the idea as well that they might maybe put the Axe on his own and try and get him in against the Legion, and then run the Razor Tusk Warlock aggro.
Yeah, I think it's a possibility.
Yeah, but we might make that move when we see the rest of the draft come out. But yeah, Empire's final pick's only going to to give us some inclination there. But I think we definitely could see the clash of tri-lanes happening somewhere on this map, and it's probably more likely to be Empire trying to find that clash rather than Vega, I think, at the moment.
I mean, Vega also banned out the Invoker, so they are expecting that Razor to be on the safe lane, just like you guys. So
okay,
probably on the same page.
Good job, strategy room. I have to say,
I'm not sure. Look, it's a Razor. I think it's kind of like I can see the synergy where it can work with like the Fatal Bonds and stuff, and also into the Legion Commander and Venge because they're short range, or they're like melee hero / short range hero, so you can get in their face and steal their damage. But it's a Razor, and I don't know. I don't think did we see any Razor at Kiev? I think we saw one game.
We didn't.
Maybe
one of the games.
Maybe one. I don't even.
Can't be more than one. Can't be more than one if that. It was not the hero at all. But as you said, there's good synergy there. It's going to be nice. Wherever you put it, you're going to want to have the Tusk because there's a lot of control. You're not having to walk around the shards. That's a lot of time that you're going to allow the static link to really kick in. So.
And with the snowball, you can still steal damage while you're inside the snowball.
Close the gap. You've got a stun as well. So you're going to be able to get some max steals out of this. Maybe to the point where we do see the heroes kind of move away from the lanes, unfortunately, and maybe looking to the safer farm in the jungle. That could be forced out.
A lot of mids being banned out, but both spirits are still in this. And for either team that wants to take that to play a little faster, or get
you bang on, Jack. You bang on, Jack. Yep, there we have it. Amber, we'll get that one off it. And that indeed is, of course, going to be the mid lane for Vega.
That'll probably be mid lane.
Oh, but is this a good game for Ember Spirit? I mean, look at all that.
Sorry for Empire.
They have a lot of roam potential on Vega. I mean, any one of those heroes can gank and, potentially bring them down. I mean, they have a decent amount of lockdown, too, especially building into a Legion Commander as an Ember Spirit. Kind of a risky move, don't you think, Jack? Why do you think that was a good pick?
I think because they usually want to play quickly and they want to be up in your face, and so this hero extends a lot of tempo for any team that picks him. He's able to join into these ganks anytime and split push a little bit, so I think it's a good fit for their lineup, but we'll have to see how they execute.
Well, our boys in the situation room are going to be going over to the casting room now.
Seriously?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can figure out.
You called it situation room. You called it strategy. It's the war room.
It's. We can have multiple names for the room.
No, it's the war
room. It is. Predictions. What do we think?
So I like Vega's draft a little bit. I think Empire is the better team. I'll go for Empire.
Okay. You might think Empire's a better team, but I'm going to go for Vega just because of the Razor pick. Haven't seen Razor do anything noteworthy in about a year, so.
You got both. What about you, Jack?
I'm going to have to agree with that. Slacks, your band corner is slowly growing. You got the Razor, now the Ghost, and the Bounty Hunter. I'm going to have to go with Vega as well on this one.
And I mean, so far I've not been right yet, so please do go against my predictions.
Fantastic.
So, let's find out who's going to be right and who's going to be wrong, but rather, who's going to take that first game one of the series. It is over to Otopixel and Fogged.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome over to the casting panel. I'm Otopixel, of course. I'm here with Fog. We're ready to take you through the second series of the day here at DreamLeague Season 7. It's Vega up against Empire. We've just seen the drafts. We went through on the table. We didn't really get too much of a chance to talk about the last few picks coming through, but G getting his hands on the OD. You're going to have potentially that very strong lane in the mid lane. And elsewhere, in terms of where we thought heroes are going to be and who's going to be playing them, we're pretty much bang on it. It's going to be a chappy Razor. Which is going to be interesting to see because it's something you said is just something you don't expect from Empire. You just don't expect from teams in general. Very, very much a hero that's been ignored for the most part.
Yeah, just because he doesn't. What do you really need from him now? Like you want your safe laner to be able to hit buildings. Razor, not really the greatest building hitter. We've seen you tried the Ags yesterday as well. It seems a bit underwhelming.
So really
he'll probably just go for like that movement speed type build. We saw Envy. He went for the bot's first item into like S and Y and stuff like that. I think we might see something along those lines and just try to cause ruckus and just a lot of impact early on. But I'm really liking Vega's lineup overall. I think that they're lacking a little bit of building heroes, but that's where the Venge comes in. He leads people to boost their physical damage. And they've got just everything you kind of need. They have team fight. They have pretty dominant lanes as well. So I'm definitely really liking what they've got going. King R just got pushed on the cliff by the shards while dewarding.
By his own teammate. What? How does that even happen, Fog?
I guess he was standing in between, like next to one of the trees or something, and like while he's dewarding, it somehow slid him up there, and now and he knocks him down. That was sick. All right.
Hey,
That was pretty
they
sick.
got it down.
This guy knows what he's doing in toss.
I like that.
Intentional.
A little bit of fun. Shoving each other around there. But
All right.
here we go.
What a way to start a game. They do get the D ward as well from that, so
Yeah.
Warlock's able to get that. And yep, they do go aggro dual lane as we kind of expected. Earth Spirit as well gets a D ward too, so 1-for-1 ward trades. And we'll see CM more than likely just start in the jungle, as we do see most CMs. You get like 2 or 3 clarities, get your probably like level 2, level 3 maybe even. Depends on how greedy you want to be. And just give your other lanes a good start with that invisible presence of Arcane Aura. Mid lane, OD versus Ember. A little bit tough for the Ember Spirit because you're a melee hero versus OD. He's able to break your shield a bit early on and then just give you right-click harassment. So this is a pretty OD-favored matchup.
Yeah, we'll see how well G can keep leading as well, just how much support help we are going to see both of the mid laners get. We've seen the previous series, very much seeing both teams, Na'Vi and Vega, having a support babysit them. See if Empire want to follow suit. But yeah, as you mentioned, these lanes, as we expected, down on the bottom, having this aggression, actually going to be a little heavier than we expected, with Showman the Slayer feeling the force of the Tusk being present in the lane as well. This is not going to be first blood immediately. They got the roll away. The Shadow Web will bring him down low. We'll see if they can chase him for a bit of further damage. He'll go for the TP back to base, and that will keep him alive. But at the least, Empire forcing the Earth Spirit out of the lane very early on.
Top lane to be going as expected. I liked what Afterlife did, though. He went for the boots first item, so he can't get drained as heavily, and then he buys a Quelling Blade instantly. So instead of having a Stout Shield, he at least has that Quelling plus 24 damage, because now Quelling Blade is not percentage-based. So versus Razor, when you do get drained, it's actually much better, because you're always going to have that plus 24 base damage versus him.
Mid lane at the moment, pretty even in the CS. Tusk coming across, eyes onto Silent.
He's just breaking his clarities. He's literally just non-stop throwing shards to break the clarities of the CM.
I actually did manage to steal that last big creep as well.
That as well.
Yeah. Very nicely done that. But Empire, and on this bottom lane, the pressure that's being put on isn't really slowing down the Venge too much. Aloha Dance still finding farm. And now they're trying to make a bit of a go on him.
Oh, nice little play there. Uses the magic missile to kill the big creep. They're putting a little bit of pressure. I think more of it is they're securing the Axe farm. Rather than him having to go to jungle, they keep the supports down there. They keep the Earth Spirit from being able to roam. And they keep the CM as well down there. So that's, I think, more so what they're getting out of this one. But take a look at top again. Afterlife just being able to spam the overwhelming odds with the CM aura and having that little bit of bonus damage from the Quelling Blade. He's actually still doing pretty damn well versus this Razor.
Yeah, and we'll see it with the Sally Link, the chase down. Now Chappie himself with the boots and the wind lace, just enough to really have the edge over how quick the Legion can move.
Bottom lane, King Art getting some pressure onto him. They get the call onto the Earth Spirit. Sayoma looks like he's going to go down here for sure.
No escape for the Earth Spirit as he's trapped in by the shards. First blood picked up by Ghost Stick, as you said yourself, already getting a good amount of farm down in this lane, picking up kills as well. Is going to start to bring him towards the point where he will really be a threat for this Vengeful Spirit safe lane. Aloha Dance still managing to find the CS, but if this lane continues as it's begun, it's going to get a lot harder for the Venge against this aggression. And well, there's the trap.
Nice shards again.
Magic Missile, trying to buy time for him. But they've got this. The Shadow Word bringing him down into the Berserker's Call, the Snowball as well to seal the deal. They'll get the kill. The Tusk again able to walk out of this. This bottom lane, it's really falling apart for Vega Squadron.
Yeah, Miposhka's actually so on point with his shards and spell usage on this Tusk. It's also just it's a hard lane. Like, that's what we were talking about. The CM does not really contribute too much in the early laning phase until you get a couple levels. Earth Spirit as well has gotten heavy nerfs recently, so people actually, at Kiev, I think he completely fell out of favor. Like, almost nobody was playing him. I think Jarax played him maybe once or twice. And yeah, Venge versus Axe, you know, they're able to get in his face pretty easily. And Ghostic just constantly running at him, putting a lot of pressure.
And as we're seeing, you know, whereas this Venge is being pressured up on top, they don't even need the supports to be there for Chappie's Razor. He's having a fine old time against Afterlife. Yeah, Afterlife is still finding something from the lane, but he's not slowing down this Razor style at all. Chappie having pretty perfect CS up in it.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, that's the nature of the matchup, right? Yeah. Like, there's nothing a Legion commander can really do. I'm actually impressed that he has 15 CS. Just because he started with boots right away. I'd actually like to see the Earth Spirit they can actually make the rotations onto the Razor, in my opinion. They bring the CM, they bring the Earth Spirit, and then they can actually nuke him down because they're going to have lots of bursts. With overwhelming odds, with CM, with Bite, and a nuke, I think it's more than enough if they have 3 heroes. Because Venge can, you know, Venge is just, he just needs levels at this point. He's not really going to be able to get more farm than he is at this point right now. We'll see if he decides to make that move. He looks like he's trying to pick up boots and maybe a TP on the Earth Spirit from the side here. And he does, but we'll see if he makes the move. Because we do know Tusk hasn't shown in a while, so they're probably assuming Tusk is making moves around the map as well.
Yeah, both supports from either side heading up towards the top. Tusk, as you mentioned, for Empire. And we saw the CM have a quick look in as backed up and is looking to clear up some of the side camps there on the top lane. Afterlife is going to start putting a bit of a harassment down onto Maposhka. Still level 5 at the moment on the Legion. Not yet to hit the 6 when play potential will potentially be there, especially with these sort of rotations now, bringing both supports up top. As you said, Shem with the Slayer and Silent have got good potential to get a catch. But look towards the jungle, top lane, the coping made, but again, we're seeing this a lot. In fact, we saw that a lot of the Kiev major. A lot of the time with these shards, I remember in the game when Puppy was playing it, a lot where it looks like you should trap them, but they still manage to slip out of them.
Yeah, he was using phase boots at the same time, so it's like with that weird kind of interaction. Yeah, it's like right on the edge. It looks like that actually looked like straight up it was grabbing him in position.
It really did. It really did.
Mid lane, looking to put some pressure onto FN. He actually misses the kick on the stone. He actually ends up just kicking him back, so there's no stun, but do they have enough damage just with right clicks?
Oh, he didn't get the final slap in Shoma. May have been able to finish it off there, but now the turnaround's going to be there with a massive rotation from Empire. They'll punish the Earth Spirit. You've got G trying to finish off this Tusk, but Maposhka jukes it off. He's going to end up surviving here and not able to kill the Ember Spirit, really hurting Vega Squadron there with that play. So close to being able to bring down FN.
Yeah, a bit of miss spell casting there. Earth Spirit kicking him instead of the stone. He even placed the stone trying to. It almost looked okay that he kicked him back, but just missing the kill there on 2 heroes. Unfortunate for them there. G has a lot of stolen int though, so that lane is going to be pretty easy. And since they forced rotation, it alleviates some pressure off of Aloha, and he's able to finish up his phase boots on the Venge and pressure the Axe out of lane.
Chappie continuing to get good space up top. But even with that missed kill, it is G's OD that leads the way this game. He has had a very strong starting in the middle lane. And we'll see where he wants to go with that. The double null into the tread, so gearing up for this very, very early ability to have that high int and high amounts of damage that Empire could struggle with if Vega start to pull together a push. And but with the safe lane Venge, that's certainly going to be a chance that we're going to see Vega go for these early 5-man skirmishes.
Yeah, G's going to be a bit of a problem for sure. Tread's already double null like you mentioned. He's level 7. And FN just kind of is put in a position where he has to roam. He's like, I need to just make moves because I can't sit mid. It's impossible for an Ember Spirit at like level 5 or level 6 versus an OD. You can't lane versus that unless you get rotations. And here we go. They do spot that movement coming out from FN, though. There is a lane ward, so they shouldn't get caught by this Empire rotation. They're even already setting up Afterlife down here. He's got the duel ready online, phase boots. He doesn't have press the attack leveled up, though, but he has level 3 nuke. So quite a good amount of burst damage and counter gank potential.
And it looks like Vega were aware that they were spotted out there. Not going to look at all, in fact, to make anything happen down bottom.
G hasting toward top. He's looking for Chappie. He's just going to give him the right-click chase down.
Immediate static link broken, and with that G will back away.
2 hits, though. He gets 4 in.
I guess a bit of it. Makes the Tusk TP away from the bottom lane. Yep. Actually, going to open up potential onto Ghostic. There's the swap. Into the roll forward. He does get the cool off. Isn't going to get the spin. Oh, no, he is. He did actually manage to bring him down.
Did I see that right? Sioma rolled in, and he was trying to kick the stone to stun him, and he actually kicked it backwards, and he missed the stun. So he kicked it all the way to the left.
We might be able to get an instant replay of that one. So he missed the boulder smash.
I think he missed the kick. I think he was rolling in, and he stoned. He was trying to do the rolling kick as you're moving,
and it went behind him.
And he kicked it to the left instead of to the right. So he's actually able to get the call off and gets a kill. So Ghostic probably should have died there without getting anything, but nets himself a nice kill.
I do get the dual damage there across for Vega. So at the end of the day, still good news for them. FN, very low life jungling. Playing it safe in terms of, as you mentioned, just staying away from the lanes at this portion of the game. Very hard for him to find anywhere to farm safely outside of the jungle. Now with the strength that Vega Squadron's lineup has in the laning phase.
They're moving the Earth Spirit. Now they're starting to make the adjustments, make some moves so that the Earth Spirit can get levels. They move him toward top.
Oh, we got it here.
Kind of just goes.
We're going to be able to watch it here, Fogged.
Let me see. I'm pretty sure he did, right? Let's see, because he's stunned here. He rolls through, and then the kick goes backwards.
Yeah,
it goes left. Right?
He shoots entirely in the wrong direction there. So it was just a bit of a misclick, you'd imagine. How does that end up going? You're not a Spirit player. How do you make that kind of
It's very hard to do the rolling kick properly. I think he probably just mistimed it by like 0.1 second, and the stone was placed behind him instead of in front of him.
Yeah. I get as you said. I mean, he ended up paying for it with his life. That mess up.
Yep.
Took the kill that. Pressure being put on bottom. Afterlife, actually with an Invis rune. Could be very nice in terms of setting something up.
Yeah, he definitely wants to do something here. Pretty underleveled on the Legion Commander, though. But as to be expected, he was versus a Razor, so it's a very tough matchup. But maybe he's able to get Miposhka here. Miposhka does not seem aware that he's invis, but oh, just kidding. He pings him instantly. He's like, there's something up here.
Huh. Yeah, nice little awareness there.
Smoke rotation bottom. FN.
Can they get the jump onto Aloha Dance? They've got the Remnant into the chains to dive in deep.
Aloha knows something's up. He's like, nobody's top, nobody's mid. Axe is the only one showing on the map. There's no one even jungling because they have a ward inside of the enemy jungle. So he is definitely feeling like somebody's ganking here.
They just scan it. So the Empire know for sure that he's still hiding behind that tower. But yeah, it looks to be a dive too deep. They're not going to attempt it at all down there.
Looks like Aloha's going to do, I think, was this the Burning build or one of the Venges that did it? The Hood Rush on Venge?
I think you're right. It was Burning.
I think it was Burning.
I think it was Burning that picked up a very early Hood. Yeah.
And it's interesting this game versus the Ember who's rushing a Veil and versus the Razor who has the massive plasma field damage. I think it could be okay. It definitely is a weirder approach that people have been doing, but you could understand why versus an Ember Spirit.
And I guess at this stage of the game, you're already punching out enough damage. It's all about just staying alive, giving the aura for your team.
Can't do damage if you're dead.
That's absolutely right. Sustainability could certainly spell the difference in keeping Aloha Dance alive in these skirmishes. Blink Dagger now complete by Ghostic. Top of the net worth as well. This is a very farmed axe. And Vega Squadron certainly have to be careful about the axe when they start to go for these sort of players as a group.
Yeah, Warlock level 6-2.
Yeah, it's a good time to go.
I like what King R's actually been doing. I think King R and Miposhka both were... They stacked the Ancients, I think, once for the axe there, and they even stacked the hard camp earlier for FN. So they're already like recognizing that the lanes need to go pretty well for themselves, and they need to make adjustments just because they can't really win the mid lane. So here we go. Rotation's coming out. There's a big wraparound here for Vega.
And from both sides, in fact, Vega and Empire with heroes with the gank potential. Good Remnant away, meaning that Afterlife can't get off the initial duel. Boulder Smash bringing the Tusk down low, but he actually survives. Now Chappie leading him with the ultimate. It's going to be Empire that pick up 2 kills, and they're not done yet. They're moving for more. They do end up losing the Tusk, but Vega may lose more. If we can see the chase down, Remnant comes forward. Will dodge off the initial damage. Surrounding the OD. There's the jump in from Ghostic. Gets the call, but the Sanity's Eclipse did come out first. G will end up falling along with Ghostic in return. Aloha Dance looking for the chase down onto Chappie, trying to duke it out. Still has the ultimate up. The duel will come through, but in fact, the Golem being down, this Legion, he's going to fall low. They don't get the successful duel when Chappie actually ends up getting the kill, and now FN's there with the Flame Guard to make sure that they do find Aloha Dance. Mass TP's coming through. Show me the Slayer actually choosing to kick FN away. The Golem causing a lot of issues for Vega Squadron as it just bullies them back away from the team fight. And at the end of the day, Empire do continue to just about come out on top. They end up killing each and every member of Vega Squadron. And over on their side, they keep FN alive. That
could have been way worse for Vega with the way that they were 4-man clumped on the enemy hill. Axe almost got like a 2 or 3-man call. He ended up only getting one of them. And the Rock actually, I think, only hit like one of the heroes as well. But it definitely could have been worse for Vega. But pretty fairly even scrappy fight going on both sides.
Vega, as you said, just making sure that they do get the kills as they go down themselves. Under 5, slight gold lead and an experienced lead for Empire, but very, very close overall.
Yeah.
Still, 2K at this stage of the game is pretty much nothing.
They got more gold on their overall heroes for the side of Empire, but Vega got gold on the 2 heroes that I think personally needed more. The OD got gold and experience, and the Venge got a big net worth bounty from the Razor kill. So definitely the 2 that need it on the side of Empire got it. Oh, on the side of Vega, sorry.
G, DD. Should have help him make short work of the tier 1 in the middle lane.
Afterlife top lane, getting gone up by Miposhka. They have support as well coming in.
Oh, actually missing the Remnant burst there. Looks like it won't matter. They will still get the kill. But a bit of an awkward play there from FN. Mid lane, upheaval from King R, causing some issues here. It's going to allow Ghosty to get the setup as he jumps in with the cool. Chance to follow through as well. And G, maybe sticking around a little too long. They've got the snowball. They need to pick Ghostic up in time. They will do. He rolls back, trying to get the kill with the boulder smash. The silence there, beautifully done. Keeping G alive. The remnants will fly through, end up killing off G. But they've already lost Ghostic. Now the side of Vega trying to fight back, but it's not strong enough. Chappie turns up to the engagement. He wraps around from behind, allows FN to pick up a double kill, and they'll look to chase down for more. Silent trying to juke his way out of this. The snowball flying straight into the backside of the Crystal Maiden, trapped up by the shards. Chappie heads in. They'll pick up another. And again, Empire, the superior team fight, managing to bring down G despite Vega's best efforts to keep the OD alive.
Yeah, nice play there from King R. I love this skill build. We saw people doing this one also at Kiev. We saw some people doing max Fatal Bond, but some others doing max Upheaval. This game, I like the Upheaval there. They don't, like, he can just sit in the back a lot of the time and they can't really stop him. I mean, that's his plan. He has a lot of ways that, he has a lot of heroes that could just run in and be in the front line. He has the Ember, the Axe, the Tusk, and the Razor already going to be pulling attention away from him, so he can just kind of sit in the back channeling. G does get the tower bounty there, but does end up getting chased out quite heavily. And now they actually do get top tower too, so Aloha deciding not to join in that whole mid scrappy engagement and just split pushing top and getting his own farm in a tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Let's see what they could do down there. Show the Slayer will be the focus. FN looking for the lead in. And the ball will chase him down post roll. And Stream of the Slayer will be as good as dead. Empire take the kill. Pressure coming in for the creeps. They could look for a tier 2 push. I mean, Senna, they don't really have the best way of taking down towers. Not a lot of tower hitters on their side.
Top lane, Aloha could be in trouble here if he stays for this wave. Ghostic is in position, gets the call off on him. They should be able to chase him down, but CM is in position.
Silent, trying to help save Lower Dance here. The freezing fields drop down, forcing Ghostic to back up, but Chappie steals a hell of a lot of damage. Moves in with the ultimate, takes down one. And will look to chase down Aloha as well. Not going to have quite enough speed, though. Elsewhere, G picks up a kill onto King R. King R left behind as the rest of Empire still looking to skirmish up in the top lane. Aloha Dance along with Afterlife. Maybe ready to go back in after the Razor loses the Static Link buff. They're thinking about going for the duel. Come down with the overwhelming odds still, though. Chappie, a lot of life points that he's sitting on. High HP at this stage of the game with that Sans Drums build. And that will put off Afterlife from going in for that jump.
They're just going with some like run at you items, early game tankiness. 2,000 HP already on Razor, as you were mentioning. So
that's a lot.
Yeah, quite beefy to get in the front lines. And now they're going for their smoke. They have Warlock Infernal up. They know Aloha's just been perched up there as well. Miposhka may even just go for some bait setup here.
Don't think go for any sort of swap.
They know they're there. Ghostic.
Oh, yeah.
A single man call.
Doesn't get the Venge. Chaotic Offering will be dropped down, though. Empire fully committing for this one. They'll bring down one. Aloha Dance trying for the TP out. Is he going to make it? The chains connect, and Empire, they will punish it. As you said, on the prepared, knew that they were in the neighborhood. Getting those 2 kills will now allow Empire to maybe look for some more. It looks like for the moment, though, they'll split up. Go to the mid and to the top lane. Continue to farm up. And not yet to go for another push. Roshan is there for the taking for both sides. Neither side really with the ability to do it very quick. Vegas Squadron is certainly the better lineup with the Venge, with the Legion. But Empire themselves, it's very hard for them to ever take Roche really this game.
Yeah, they need to just get full, like, much. It's not the time for it. They're just going to take objectives and they have to just keep running and taking team fights. That's the builds they're going for too. Chappie actually switches it up. He's going for the Halberd build. I think this is really cool approach versus OD. I think we saw this, maybe not the exact same thing, but the nature of it happened versus VP. When OG did it, they stacked 2 Solar Crests, an evasion item as well, and like a Troll Warlord versus an OD, because OD doesn't build MKB. Like he just doesn't unless it's like a last item. Vengeful as well is going to take a while, so that evasion is going to be very value on him. And then not even just including the Halberd effect. Using the Halberd, since it's a what? How long is it? It's like almost a 5.5 second disarm. It's absurd how long it really is, how much that item's actually been buffed up.
Yeah, and as you said, just picking it up this early, there's going to be very little answers for it.
Yeah, 5.5 seconds, yeah. So versus, yeah, it's a ranged hero. OD will have 5 seconds of disarm, and he doesn't want to build a BKB. He doesn't want to build MKB either. So having that is going to make him a hell of a lot tankier and a hell of a lot harder to bring down.
And Chappie on the high ground will dispel the smoke moon, as shown with the Slayer. Ghostic's there as well, looking for the call. Actually gets 2 of them, beautifully done there by Ghostic. 1 drop down, there's the second, double kill for Ghostic, and he absolutely deserves it, and they're not done yet. They're looking for more. Freezing Field and Suddenly's dropped in return, very low on mana, but Empire, they'll continue to fight. There's the disarm coming into play. OD in a lot of trouble, does go for the self-astral, trying to buy time, but they chase him down, bring him out. Afterlife will get the successful duel, killing off Ghostic, but they've lost 4. They'll end up losing 5 here as Empire just power through. And we saw there the power of the disarm. Suddenly, G was sitting there, and he could offer very little to the fight. He had to just self-astral and hope for the best.
He came out of Astron. I think he was like still disarmed or something. Like it's like 5.5 seconds is actually absurd. And I'm pretty sure that yeah, yeah, you can't even remove it.
You can't dispel it.
Yeah,
no, I mean we saw the Legion try and was like, I'm going to remove it,
yeah.
and it does. You have to have magic immunity, and as you said, this is an OD that's not really going to want to build BKB, but
it's gonna
maybe
have to.
forced to. And is he going to come soon? Absolutely not. He's on 1,300 gold. Okay, he did have to blink Q. Now he said, I just have to have a BKB. Because he really does. There's just he's going to be so limited in these fights because of that halberd.
Yeah, I think the halberd and also just being able to avoid the burst potential from the Ember. Ember's about to be level... He's almost level 18. Like, FN, this is an Ember Spirit who was versus an OD in lane. He pretty much had to jungle from level 5 and just make rotations afterwards. He is sitting at level 16 at top of the net worth 10,000. So Empire just executing their lineup very well and also reading the map very well with their very deep wards. They're able to read the movements from Vega and set those fights up very nicely.
Maelstrom complete on FN as well now. Veil and Maelstrom to have that at his timing as well before G has his BKB is going to be very, very damaging in these fights.
I like that he changed this. He had Linken's at first.
He did, didn't he? Yeah.
He switched it back to the Maelstrom. I think they need something else to still be pushing the lanes out because their lane push is not really that great. It's what Razor, Plasma Field, and Ember Spirit with Flame Guard. They want to be able to push waves out faster so they don't get caught.
I like this build as well for Ghostic. I feel like not something that we always necessarily see the Axe build, but going the Blade, Blade Mount Blink, and then into the Medallion Solar Crest for himself.
I think we should just be seeing lots and lots of Solar Crests on everybody. Mipushka stops the TP from Aloha, traps him in with the shards as well, and this is going to actually probably get... Yeah,
they've got Mass TP's coming down. They've got the Vision here. He's got no way of getting out, and with no tier 1, there's no backup potential from the rest of his team. And that's going to be a pretty dead Vengeful Spirit. A dunk to the head from Ghostic seals the deal. Puts him a little closer towards that completed Solar Crest gold. And yeah, it's just a low farming very far out in that lane on his own. And yeah, with no tower, no way of his team helping him out.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned the Solar Crest though on the Axe. Because same concept as like the Halberd, same thing that we saw G do versus an OD. The OD doesn't want to build MKB. You just have Solar Crests, you have tons of evasion stacked up, and his damage becomes quite negligible. And I think Solar Crest is also just an absurd item right now.
Some nice itemization from Empire for sure. Realizing the situation. And you know, thanks to that, they are leading at the moment, 23-8. 7,500 gold lead. It's a sizable one for sure. As we really start to see it tail off pretty much after that last fight where they got the team wipe in the middle lane.
It's the panel curse, right? They all went for Vega.
They did actually, didn't they?
Yeah.
They believed in the Vega Squadron.
We saw what happens when you do this as a panel.
But Empire certainly turning up in their first game of the day and giving Vega a bit of a shaking about.
And they're doing it with a Razor.
Yeah, that's true. I hear that a lot of teams just, well, as we saw in Kiev, just do not believe in, or at the least find it very hard to find an opportunity to play him in. But no, this game so far we've seen with the ultimates being very disrupted, the static link as well, immediately just making it very hard for Afterlife or G to commit into the fights. As their damage potential massively limited. Blink actually will end up being picked up by G, so I believe he didn't... Did he quite... No, he didn't finish the BKB, only picking up the Ogre Club. And then, I mean, it's always tempting that you get 2k gold farmed up and you're like, I'll just get the I'll get the Blink instead. But as we've seen, that Blink, if he doesn't have the BKB for the next fight, he may sort of regret the Blink Dagger if it's not enough to keep him alive.
I think that their plan is probably just don't take a fight until we have
they've got to wait
They
until
just
they
need
have
to, yeah, keep everything split up. That's kind of, it seems like that's what Aloha's been doing for a while now. He's just like, I need to farm up. Like, I'm Avenge. I don't really want to get involved in these big AoE team fights that Empire does have. We don't really have that kind of capability, so I need to farm. top lane. Empire also has been doing very good smoke movements and reading the map just incredibly well. There's going to be a clash right here. Empire's got the high ground here.
Top lane Afterlife is looking towards Chappie, but Ghost Stick comes in, only gets the one-man call, immediately Boulder Smash and Silence in return, but the three-man chaotic offering is dropped. The Sanity's Clips will pop the axe, FN goes forward with the Remnants, takes one, and now looks towards the second. There'll be a self-astral, but there's no way that this OD gets out there, or else is there. He blinks himself out. That will buy him some time, but the chase down is there. Chappie's picked up a double kill. FN with the haste rune, looking towards the OD. Again, another Astral holding them back. We'll see the OD maybe get himself away, but the rest of Vega crumble. 4 deaths as Chappie picks up a triple kill. And yeah, he is going absolutely ham on the Razor this game. I just did not expect to see this performance come out on a Razor. 25 minutes in or whatever on it, top of the net worth. He's just been doing so much. 10-1-9, involved in 19 of the kills.
He's got 3k health.
Yeah.
The 400 health talent. Now he's got a Linken's, he's got Halberd. Wow.
Absolutely massive.
So he's got a Vision, he's got the Linken's to block the duel as well. They can't really swap him in now. He even takes the unstable current damage extra earlier at level 15s. This Razor is,
I'd
like to say, almost unkillable unless he's isolated.
Where's the lockdown with that Linken's? You know, you're not going to have the duel. I mean, this is already a target that you don't want to duel. You know, you're going to go for him. You either proc the Linken's or you take a hefty jolt, as you said, with the extra damage being chosen by the unstable current, which is a pretty great talent. It doubles the damage, I believe. I believe at max level it's 130,
yeah.
And then you add another 130. So double your passive damage. 260 per jolt when someone tries to target you with the spell. It's you know, nothing to laugh at. It adds up in these fights. Especially for someone like a CM that's looking to try and lock you down with a Frostbite. It's a bit of a painful zap. That's 2 seconds slow as well. Not something to be forgotten.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely just a bit more fear to put him. Oh, Ghost Stick actually he blinks into an Earth Spirit stun and gets brought down very quickly.
That's a bit of a costly one as well. Empire almost certainly not wanting to fight whilst that axe is down. So Vega Squadron could look to try and abuse this. They're already into position to try and take an objective. No chaotic offering, still on cooldown. And yeah, without that axe, we may see Empire kind of put the brakes on for a little bit.
They look like Vegas look like they're going for a kill instead of trying to pressure the tower right now when the axe is dead. I think they're still a little bit afraid, but I think they should try to get towers whenever possible.
Another big Lincoln Sphere pickup coming around the corner as FN has pretty much got the gold to do so on the Ember Spirit. So both cores with the Lincolns.
Whoa. Afterlife just picked up a Midas 27 minutes in on the Legion Commander. They're going for the super late. They're trying to scale harder.
I mean, in terms of scaling, I mean, I guess you certainly could look at the Razor and say you should be able to outscale that, but then again, you are running a lineup with a position 1 Venge. And I mean, yeah, OD, late game, G is going to have the potential to be in a really scary place, but he's got a lot of a way to go. And this is an OD, of course, that he did not build Midas, so it's not going to be a quick journey to that portion of the game. He's still looking for the BKB, and as you said, being forced into items that aren't going to help his damage output that much at all.
Yeah. Once Vega does, though, have their BKBs, that's when they get a lot stronger, because a lot of the damage that Empire does have right now is magical. The only real physical they have is if the static link gets on somebody, he's able to right-click people down, or if the axe obviously gets a call on them, but that's more pure damage. But yeah, I think the BKBs are the big timing for Vega. Once they have that OD BKB, once they have like Venge, if he goes for one as well, that's their big window to actually take fights and be in an okay position for them.
To the pit they go, Empire. Didn't have the best Roshan taking potential earlier on, but now with the Solar Crest and with the power that Chappie's managed to build up to,
with Solar Crest, you always have it.
Yep.
We always have Roshan potential now.
Such a good item.
Unbelievable.
I'll see what Vega can do to try and stop it.
They've got vision of this.
Good silence holding back Ghost Stick. Chappie's going to lead straight up to the high ground here with the ultimate, looking to chase down Shoma the Slayer. And should be a dead one unless G can help him. There's the disarm. Again, they're trying to purge it off. It's not going to work. At the least, maybe just looking to get the heal and the movement speed for the OD to get out of there.
Oh no, Aloha's isolated.
They're left all alone as the rest of Vega Squadron have already backed up. Ghost Stick's there with the control. Chappie wraps around with the resting remainder of his ultimate to bring down a third. G still actually looking to play around with FN. but the Lincolns, it's there. He's not going to be able to get the Astral Trap. Now he doesn't have a defensive Astral for himself. He will put the BKB, try and man up, drops the Sanity's Eclipse with the Snowball, held in, the Chaotic Offering drops straight down onto G. They'll roll forward, looking for the dunk, not going to quite get it, forcing himself away. G surviving for the moment being, but the Remnant there's to catch him down. FN comes in, finishes off the kill. They've trapped up the Legion Commander as well, who went for a dual potential, but Empire just swarmed him, and 32-11. It is not getting any better at all for Vega Squadron, as Empire really rolling away with quite an incredible lead here. Straight into the tier 2 in the mid lane. The Golem's still up, 45 seconds. No OD, 30 seconds without the Legion. Neither with buyback available.
Empire just running at them. Yep. They're not giving Vega any time to really set up. They're reading, they're just reading the movements as well. They've had very deep wards on the side of Empire, so every single time that Vega's trying to go for a fight, they already see all the movements coming in, and then Chappie just runs at them. Since he's so tanky on this Razor, he doesn't give a crap.
Oh, and Ghostic jumps in, looks to drag Alohan's back. They'll come in with the Plasma. Forcing Alohan's back, he's ticking down due to the battle angle. Will shine up. Oh, in fact, hang on, there's the turnaround there with a freezing field. They may have killed the CM, but the roll forward for Shaman the Slayer. Bring them down low. Chappie still surviving. They've lost FN, but the rest of Empire remaining alive. Gets the call onto 2, but will end up going down. They get the follow-up duel, in fact, as well onto Miposhka. They take down a third. So, a bit of a sloppy attempt to high ground there from Empire. Does get punished as Vega Squadron pick up 3 and the duel win as well.
Aloha just got rich. 2,000 gold going his way. Good positioning by him. I think they had to trigger 2 shrines. Yeah, so they had to use 2 shrines there in order to be able to take that fight. But good positioning there from Silent on the Crystal Maiden. So using that freezing field right behind the tower, he actually forced them to kind of go on him and try to stop it. And then a nice 3-man boulder smash came in from Sayoma. And then they were able to just kind of bring them down with the vengeful right clicks under the tower. And FN does die as well, so that's a big bounty going toward the way of Aloha, as mentioned. Aegis now, too, as well.
Big Roche kill, yeah. Absolutely.
Very fortunate series of events for Vega here.
I want to see what Alohan's does. You said he's got a lot of money, 4k gold on him. What route does he go down? What's he thinking about? What could you invest in with this much? I mean, unlikely he wants to get a BKB because he's got the hood. And I don't think you want to get BKB as well on this this Venge that you are going to rely on to do damage in these fights. I mean, maybe even, would you like to see him pick up something like an Assault Crash for the team? I mean, do you finish that off into a pipe just to help your team a little bit more? You've got so much gold. I mean, I really feel like he needs to spend it before the next fight kicks off.
I think I'm in the same position that he's in right now. I'm looking at him, and he doesn't have an item queued up. I'm trying to think of one that actually fits the best, like what suits best versus this lineup here. And it's nothing of importance to my mind. I think it has to just be the BKB. Yeah. But
then you've invested in a hood and a BKB on your position 1 Venge.
Yeah. But like that's what we were talking about with Empire's lineup though. They're very magic damage oriented. If they're able to just like peel the fight away, they don't really have any like straight physical damage dealer. The Razor with unstable with the Link is okay physical, but it's not like this like overwhelming one. And now this is when they can take fights. So now double BKB. This is triple BKB actually. The LC also has one, so this could be a pretty good fight right now for Vega. Yeah,
we can see. Them waiting to try and turn around. There's the lead in. Pop the BKB. Ghostic tries to go in, but the boulder smash actually gets him before he gets the call off. The silence is there as well. They go straight over the duel. The silence clips, bringing the axe down low. Ghostic trying to get himself away, but Shovel Slayer's there with the chase down. There'll be the roll forward. They get the kill in return. But with the axe gone down, and now the death of the Warlock, Empire just have to get themselves the hell out of there. They head up to the high ground, look for the shrine. Alohan's chasing down another. The Frostbite's there to set in a double kill for Afterlife. They pick up 3, and they're not done yet. G still with eyes onto Chappie, who's desperately trying to get himself out of there. FN looking to hold him back with the chains, doesn't make the connection. G, does he go for this? He's got a blink and a hurricane pike. How aggressive does he want to play? I don't think he's going to go to the high ground. He's not. He will calm himself, hold back. But again, another successful fight for Vega Squadron. Things really being turned around. And as you said, just maybe having this BKB, it's not about the fact that you're lacking the damage. It's the fact that you're just able to survive the initial attempts of Empire and just outlast them in these engagements.
Yeah, because like Ember, they don't really they just have no physical damage dealer. They actually just don't. Like Razor, you can say he can be. If he gets a full duration static link, the odds of that happening versus double Hurricane Pike, double Hurricane Pikes is pretty much impossible. And now this is where Vega's starting to look like they're taking a bit of a commanding position in this with the Aegis, with now a 6,000 gold swing. As long as they have their BKBs up, they can take the fights.
A sizable swing, as we can see on the graph, kicking in already. About 10,000 in both of XP and gold, as the graph is making a pretty much straight beeline back towards the favor of Empire. Empire need to kind of stop the bleeding here with another fight.
Yeah, 4-staff as well on Silent with a drum. They have a Blink Dagger on Sayoma, so their team fight is much better, and they have so many different ways to peel off of the Razor static link.
Look at how far King R can drop this upheaval from. He's on the high ground, they're dealing from the low ground. There's the jump, and oh, the duel immediately onto the axe. This is huge. Ghost Stick is pretty much the one they're relying on to find these jumps, and he's taken out, down for 50 seconds. Silent with the freezing field, making it hard for Empire to jump in onto this. FN gets the chains onto 2, but has to Remnant back up to the high ground. At the top, Alardar's being gone on, but he drops the magic missile onto the Razor. Moving forward here, G's trying to kill again. Good Remnant burst, bring them down low. Finds G, pops the Aegis. Can they go for a second run on him? And Loadance cannot help him. He has to get out of there. G will be left behind, all on his own by the looks of it, as he'll be surrounded by Empire. The rest of the team, oh no, maybe the Blinky get out. In fact, there's the Force as well. They save him. It will cost Silent his life. And then it goes again, forcing over the shards. The snowball chase down will be there, but he pops the BKB, turns around with the Sanacy's clips. The overwhelming odds coming in as well for the LC. Jumps back in, looks towards Champion, but the Silent Fist is there. Brings down the OD, rooting up the LC. Can Empire finally come back here? After like trying for the TP out, he's going to make it. There's no cancel, he's out. And so is Aloha Dance, both escaping on minimal health. But again, Vega getting beat back down, losing G a second time despite their best efforts to get him out of the fight. Empire holding on.
They got the, what was it, godlike streak on the Razor?
Oh, yeah. So who picked that money up?
I looked at the Venge, I believe. Yeah, Venge picks up 990 gold, so he's going to be getting much closer toward that butterfly. He's actually going to have it pretty soon. He's actually getting close to level 25 as well. I want to see if he goes for the Vengeance Aura. I think that he probably will in this game. Razor there did get a decent link and good amount of damage stolen, but I think G actually held this. It's hard, like in those situations. You know, we're seeing it from a bird's eye point of view. But having that, he wanted to save after the Aegis. He wants to use the PKB afterwards, but he actually had an opportunity to get a pretty good Sanity's Eclipse onto the Razor earlier than that. So maybe a little bit of just misdecision making, but still, it's easier to say from our position, and they're still doing pretty damn fine after the bad early game they had. They're recovering in a very good fashion.
FN with of course, the classic Magic Man Ember build. Very close to having the Octarine complete. That he's opting for at this stage of the items.
Yeah, almost Octarine level 25 on him. How's Legion doing? Legion's level 23. He's almost got a full MK. This Midas actually paid off so much.
Yeah,
this 27-minute Midas.
It is.
On
I mean,
Legion.
in 10 minutes already, we're seeing the benefits of it.
Yep. Gonna have MKB finished up for that halberd, for that evasion that they have from the Solar Crest as well. So he's gonna be able to dish a decent amount of damage if he's able to get the lockdown on anybody. King R going back for a gem, trying to clean up some of that map control that Vega just got from that Aegis and from those two team fights.
Let's see where we have it. To get the D ward here, Empire, get a bit of control back. Vega themselves are looking to fight up on the top lane. Shoma scanning out the situation, Aloha Dance and Silent in the tree line.
I think Vega's feeling a good amount better after all that happened on the high ground for themselves. Getting relatively close to OD's Hex. Top lane though. They have 3 people chilling out in the trees. I don't
think they really want to fight here though, those 3.
I hope not. They have a trap right under them.
Yeah, Silent's already TP'd out. They're getting themselves the hell out of there. Shoma will look to cut the wave. See if they can punish it. Snowball is going to be heading his way, and in fact, ooh, no! The Snowball doesn't make the connection, but the Walrus Punch does. Does get the roll-off in time, but he's got no TP, and the Remnant forward from FN will end the life of Shoma the Slayer. And I'll make him pay for cutting the creep wave. There we have, finished and done. MKB for the Legion. Going to make a massive difference against this Razor with Talisman and Halberd.
They still lack a couple ways to break the Lincolns, though.
That's true.
If he does want to get the duel on that specific target. He can target like anyone else, though. He can target the Axe now better, because now the Solar Crest isn't going to be that much of a factor. Razor is stacking evasion as well, so he goes for the 14 static link damage, and he's picking up going for a butterfly for himself as well, so he has quite a lot of evasion already, sitting at 39% on the Razor without Solar Crest being placed on him.
Yeah, definitely something that's still going to be an issue for that Legion is, yeah, with that increased static link steal, as long as the Razor's able to lay that down, you know, onto the Legion, suddenly the duel is going to become pretty ineffective pretty quickly, as that damage is going to rapidly drain away from him. But all depends on the perfect situation. We do now see the AC, in fact, coming out on the Venge. I do like that. He was thinking about getting the Butterfly, but going back for something that's going to benefit the team, and certainly could make the difference when we see them go for those dual initiations.
Helps them siege as well. Helps them, yeah, it just helps them in a lot of different factors, because reduces like the small amount of physical damage that Empire does have. It's definitely a good item to have.
What's the 25 you think he's going to go for on the Venge?
I think he would go for the 20% vengeance aura.
I think so as well.
Because it's like no one even really has a BKB,
yeah,
right?
It's just the Lincolns which are an issue.
Yeah.
The magic missile is not going to make a difference about that one. So yeah, 20%, as you said, yeah, certainly seems to be the logical step.
Works pretty well with OD too, because OD will just get more and more in throughout the fight, and since it's a percent basis off your stat, it'll make you more powerful with that. Off the base damage. Arcane Rune picked up for
Ghostic.
G.
Looking for the lead. Will find the OD. BKB popped as well. The Joe Collins pitch right. They're trying to bring down G, but he gets the chance to put the BKB out. In the midst of it all, they'll punish the Earth Spirits. Attempt to roll in silent with the freezing field. Will get cancelled. They've dropped the Savages and Glyphs. Chappie falling over it again. Ghostic comes back in with the call. There'll be an attempt to swap him out from a low hard arts, but it doesn't save him. A low hard arts as well, now losing his life. And they may even be able to chase the Legion. No, Afterlife is already out there with a quick blink. The Tusk is searching. Won't quite find him. But Ghostic there with a great way to start the play, just jumping in onto the OD, forcing him to put the BKB in as sort of a panic Sanity's Eclipse. You know, whenever you're using the ult at the start of the fight, it's not ideal. You want to be racking up the int. Yeah, you're going to whiff out a huge chunk of the enemy mana, but you're not going to do a lot of damage. And that was something that Vega was certainly lacking in that fight.
Yeah, their Legion commander got completely zoned as well. He started getting linked, and he actually was forced to like blink away. He was BKB'd and blinked away instead of being able to fight. So it's like they 4 committed. They didn't have their Earth Spirit, who's their big team fight lockdown, because he just died right away. Empire. This is also the evasion too. That 39% evasion that the Razor had, the OD missed him. I don't even know how many times. I think like 6 times or so.
Yeah, and as you said, that is a hero that you do not want to be getting MKB on. Absolutely not.
So they get the racks, and now they get to put some pressure onto the shrine, but no, they saw the movements coming out from Vega with that ward that they do have in the base.
Let's see if Afterlife can start getting some of those duels again. He's got the plus 40 talent. Certainly can start to add up very quickly.
Only here target they can really duel is like the axe. And I mean, ideally he wants to get the Warlock, but it's going to be very difficult to do that when there's a Tusk with a Blink Dagger who can always just blink and snowball save. And Miposhka's done a really good job of not really getting caught in the in the middle of all those like giant cluster team fights. He's always like sitting in the back, able to change things up. And now he actually finishes up an Ethereal Blade on the Tusk, so able to prevent anyone from being not only just dueled but focused down from the OD as well.
Yeah, that is it's a pretty healthy looking Tusk. Level 22, E-Blade and Blink. You're good to go. As you said, lots of ways of saving your teammates, and that extra bit of burst can certainly turn things. Empire with the smoke forward into the jungle. She ended up backing up. Looks like they tried to find a way over on the top half of the river, but were unsuccessful with doing so. Butterfly very close to being done for Chappie. About 600 away and he'll have it.
So tanky. He's just got, 4,000 health. 4,000 health, and once he finishes up this Butterfly, he's going to have like almost 50% evasion, plus a Solar Crest being thrown on him. It's not really the Legion, even though he went for like the MK build, he's not really the one who's going to be like on top of him, even being able to do that damage. Because if the Legion is on top of the Razor, he's probably getting drained. So it's very difficult for Afterlife to really get that kind of position. He actually even goes for the bonus duel damage at level 25.
I like that. I mean, well, the percentage cooldown reduction, how much is it? 20% cooldowns?
Oh, no, it's 100. It makes your press the attack.
Oh, sorry, press the attack cooldown.
Yeah, it makes your press the attack 100% uptime. And that's actually what we've seen. I think at Kiev, everybody was grabbing the -8 press the attack cooldown because, like, being able to just spam that when you're breaking high ground and being able to just purge spells seems to be just more effective than, you getting like these big duel wins. Your hero's not really the big damage dealer as an LC. You're more of that one hero lockdown. But, I mean, it could end up working. I mean, he got the -27 minutes, and that was working for himself for a while. And This one could be...
Oh no, they got to be careful here. Ghosting's coming in with the smoke. He's going to jump and get the 3-man call into setup. But instantly, with the column dropped down. They're losing 4 here. Empire with a beautiful initiation buyback coming out from the Legion. But that jump there from Ghostic, easily securing the fight. Oh, I can't believe they stood there. They just grouped up for it. I guess they didn't expect the smoke to come through, but that was an easy jump for Ghostic to make.
Yeah, 3-man.
That was...
3-man call into 3-man rock. They get fatal bonds, but they all pop BKB and remove it. But then the Tusk comes in, and they just have extra lockdown from that with the Sigil on top too for reduced attack speed slow. They have so much evasion, plus Solar Crush, plus Ethereal Blade. They just have so many different factors on the side of Empire to just run in and not really worry about the damage that's going to be dished out because they're just controlled the whole time.
They'll go straight towards the tier 2 on the bottom lane.
Great way of taking fights there for
maybe let's have a look at it again. Just at that jump in from Ghostic. 4-man chaotic offering, and as you said, the BKB's come out, but by that time the damage has just already been done. There's no way to recover from being jumped upon with that much kind of potency. As Empire just destroy them there. We see up top, Lower Dance trying to go for a bit of a wrap. It'll pop the BKB, and we'll make it out of there. No way to hold him back. But actually in the base, a bit of a play around here with the Ember Spirit. Chappie finds the tier 3. So at the end of the day, they got the range racks, but the damage certainly being done by Empire here. And the bottom, BKB will be popped by the Legion. Swap back onto King R. They do find the jewel. It's going to be plus 40 damage, and also the gem as well. So a nice bit of recovery there from Vega, but still the damage certainly has been done to their base. But they are finding trades in return. You know, getting the top range racks, getting the gem, getting plus 40 damage. It could have been a whole lot worse for Vega.
Yeah, it could have been worse. Still not great. I mean, they're small gains though.
Yep.
They've got, I think, the Hex now finished on the OD. Bench hits level 25, so he's got his plus 20% damage aura, and he's going to be going for Satanic next, so he's going to have some more survivability. But now, the thing is that they just, even like looking at their draft now, in hindsight, of course, looking at Vegas, is their 3 cores are super single target. They have Avenge, OD, and Legion Commander. All 3 only hit 1 hero at the same time. Of course, if you have a Sanity's Clips on top, it'll help, but he's not able to stack up the int that he wants to in these fights because of the amount of evasion that's come. Not only the amount of evasion, but the amount of like control that comes out from Empire with the rock, with the punch. There's just so many different ways to not allow G to really hit anybody to get that AoE burst damage that they need.
And still, though, these 2 cores of Empire with a sizable lead. FN and Chappie a clear 5,000–6,000 ahead of their counterparts on Vega Squadron. Still, time is required for Vega to catch up. Ghostic now with the Shiva's Guard as well. And these BKBs from Vega, I imagine, are going to start running pretty low soon. And so we have seen them have them out for quite a while. Few fights that we've been out through.
Yeah, 5 second on OD, 5 second on Legion, and 5 second on Venge.
There we go. That's not great. Those BKBs have been pretty crucial in giving Vega a chance in these fights. And even when they have got them off, as we've seen, it still doesn't necessarily guarantee the ability to turn them around. I can see G here is 25 soon. What was the 25 pickup on the...
you get the Arcane 60 seconds, yeah.
Extra time on this still. Yeah. Yeah, 8% spell cooldown. That's how spell amp. I guess, yeah.
It's quite underwhelming.
Yeah. It amps up the damage from the Arcane a little. That's still a spell, isn't it?
It's pure damage. Yeah, I mean, it does a little bit, but at the same time, like...
The duration itself actually means more. Yeah,
you can take, if you win a fight, you can take the next fight, and you still have that in bonus, so... I don't think I've ever seen anyone take the imp, spell imp. It's pretty underwhelming. Only 8% at level 25 is very low.
It's not a lot. Just pick yourself up an Ether Lens if you're that desperate.
Yeah. BKB finished up for the CM. He actually used Freezing Field on a creep wave in order to finish that one there.
See Chappie going for the high ground. Sees jumping from FN. Swap away. A lower dance. Keeping him alive. Chappie. Frontlining here with the Solar Crest. Lincolns will be popped.
His evasion. 63% evasion with the Solar Crest on him.
Here we go, the sleight of fist bringing Silent down very, very low. There's the jump in for a low dance, looking to find a target. The link onto G is trying to break it, but Chappie with the chase down and the Scotty slow, stealing a lot of damage here from G. The chaotic offering has been dropped. They're looking to commit. The duel comes out, but they'll end up killing the Legion commander. That's going to be Legion down for 120 seconds. Jump forward from FN, looking towards Silent, will force himself away. Maposhka, very low. Sanity's a clip dropped by G. Ghostic comes in though with a call. The Boulder Smash to Shepard trying to hold them back. Now they're bringing G. They're actually going to keep G alive here. So G will survive. The Aegis has been popped. Shoma the Slayer rolling forward will be punished with the Orchid from FN. They'll take the Earth Spirit as well, but they have lost to an Empire. Silent and a low dance falling very low. Chains connect onto the CMG. Salved up. Broad Sal's getting himself ready to go back into the fight. Turns towards King R. King R keeping himself alive just with the stick charges. The sight down onto the Razor, but still the evasion fights through. Very little that the OD could do. The halberd out onto him. G with the BKB still on cooldown. Can't stick around for the fight. Has to back his way away from the siege on the top lane. And Empire will look to try and clean up this Rax. The melee's down, but now G again back into the fight. TP's down to the building. Looking to focus in on the Razor. Has the BKB, but again, the evasion from Chappie. It looks to be too strong. He gets himself out of this. Turns around towards G with the Skadi. Smacks him back in the face. Brings down the OD. They'll get the Vengeful Spirit as well, and CM, the last one left alive. The buyback from G coming through, but what can he really do to stop the onslaught from Empire as they just did so much there? Chappie's still alive, tries to go for it again, but again, the slow there from the unstable current, meaning that the OD cannot commit onto this Razor. The Frostbite connects, but the Force Out is there. He comes in again, G, desperate to kill off this Razor, hexes him out. This time they'll find it. They bring down Chappie. Can they get more on the high ground? FN with the TP out will make it. No way to cancel it. King Eye on the tree line as well with a successful escape. But Chappie, as we saw there, just took so much from Vega Squadron to actually be able to bring down the Razor.
Look at this Razor's damage done in that fight, dude. He did 10,000 damage just because he's sitting there in the front line and they can't kill him. Because
they can't kill him.
Because with the Solar Crest, he has 60% evasion. He's like, all right, well, come at me. Neither of you have MKB. Venge isn't building one either. OD is not building one. They only have the MKB on the Legion Commander. And he's not the one who's hitting the Razor.
They need someone to get a Bloodthorn. I mean, it really feels like the only answer. You know, the Hex is not going to answer the evasion from Yarns and such. And yeah, actually, MKB is certainly going to be a long shot. Maybe it's, I guess, Bloodthorn as well. It's hardly a cheap item. You're a long way away from it on whoever you want to go for it on. But they need something. I mean, yeah, they did end up killing Chappie there, but they literally had to throw 5 lives at it. A buyback as well from G committed just to get the kill.
And in the meantime, FN's just sitting there throwing slights and chains, throwing slight chain, jumps in with an Ember, with a Remnant, then blinks back out over and over again. Just having that super tanky frontline Razor is such a problem for Vega.
Maposhka, look for the commit. Onto Shoma. Has to be careful though. Here we go with the Legion Commander. Oh, Afterlife not quite quick enough with the duel. BKB was committed for that one as well. I guess it doesn't matter at this time because the BKBs are already down to 5 seconds. FN won't be locked down. Shoma try for the silence. Won't make it shards. Do end up trapping him. BKB popped here by Maposhka. He's been chased down by Aloha. Gets himself into the snowball. He's going to look for the escape as he goes straight towards the creeps. Blinks away. Ghostic in with the jump. Finding the Crystal Maiden, but the Self-Astral there as they will protect the CM for some time. Being silent won't make it out. There's a sleight of fist. Comes through. The Aghanim's Golems drop down onto the core of Aloha Dance. Bringing out the Vengeful Spirit. G finds the Sanities. Moving forward with a Hex chase down onto Ghostic, but Ghostic gets the call out. The War's Punch is there. They've got the control, and Empire, they'll find the OD. No buyback, of course, for G, down for 2 minutes. The buyback will come out from Aloha, but the rest of Vega Squadron are being chased down. Jump forward, FN finds the Orchid. King R will be turned towards. Afterlife actually ends up being able to bring down the kill, but it will cost him his life. The E-Blade burst enough. FN finds the triple kill. Vega now with 3 on the sidelines, none with buyback available. This could be it for them as Empire move in position to go for the mega creeps.
Yeah, Empire is just so much stronger at this point. I think, is what, everybody level 25 on the side of Empire now?
Yeah, it's getting close to it, I imagine.
Yeah, they are.
Check it
everybody.
Oh, there's the jump. And we'll manage to punish one of them. That's going to be 4 down and out for Vega Squadron. We can certainly expect the GG to be coming through very, very shortly as Empire are going to look to, they're going to look for the Fountain Dive. Aloha Dance, the only one left alive. In they go, straight into the base. The call into the punch as Aloha Dance gets surrounded and almost teleported down. Jump forward from Maposhka. He's committing for this, making sure that this man doesn't get away. The E-Blade into the Remnant burst will secure the kill for Empire, and they will finally take the game. 53 minutes in, 57 to 25. Quite a lot of action going on there. Vega trying their best, and try as they will, it's just not enough. The Razor worked out absolutely perfectly. As I said before this game, we didn't really expect a lot from Chappie's Razor, as it's just a hero we don't see, but he had a fantastic time there.
I mean, he played it really well. They actually did pick the OD into the Razor too, and Razor used to be kind of a counter versus the OD because of what happens.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of saw what happened. They I think it was a kind of back and forth though. Vega got their BKBs and they could kind of take fights like, right afterwards. But once the BKBs starting to get a bit lower, they don't really have a clear-cut initiator. The Legion